right there, the guardians of the garden. A friend of mine gave those to me a long time ago, and they used to have legs, but the thing that held the legs on all, they broke. So I thought they'd be just fine if they were connected to those posts, and they've stayed there ever since I put them up. So I thought for today, I would take a walk down toward the pond and try to explain why I'm doing this channel. I'm not the best speaker in the world or anything fancy, and I don't expect to be an influencer, and I really don't expect to make money. That's not the point of this. The point I have for doing this channel is to be someone who shows you a different way of living. I know there are a lot of people who have moved from city into rural agriculture or just rural in general, and I want to share the ideas that there's a reason for that. It's meaningful. It's not maybe for everybody, but the people who have done it, one, I think they're brave, and two, I think they're looking for something that the city cannot offer. Like, look at this. This is a 10-acre parcel, and where the tree line is the boundary. Our neighbors aren't real close, but they're nice people. It's a windy day. It's been windy lately. So I wanted to share some of the things that my husband, who I will call Bushwalk, and I are trying to accomplish using things that are already here. There were a lot of implements that were left when we bought the property, but also there are things that we got for very little money and Bushwalk was able to renovate. Like, we have a side delivery rake that's probably from the 1930s, maybe the 1940s, but you can still get the parts for it, and he was able to get everything straightened out, give it a new paint job, and put it to work. And then when we bought the 10 acres, we got a 1952 Ford 8N with it, and he's kept that running up until, well, this past year, 2023, and that finally gave up the ghost, although he thinks he can fix it. So we got a 1960-something Ford 2000, and it's running great. It's doing the job for us. So part of this is neighborly, part of it is we live in a place called Pumpkin Center, and from what I understand of old timers, this was a place where pumpkins were grown. There are cattle ranches here. There was a dairy barn right next to us, but he gave up dairy. And I want to leave a video story, mostly to my son, so that when I'm passed, he can look back and he can hear me talk about where I've been, where I am, and where I hope to be. And I hope that's of interest to someone. Might not be, but I guess it doesn't really matter. So that's the purpose of the channel. If you have a comment, I will answer. If you have something you'd like to hear about, let me know. We have a very large garden. We're building a greenhouse out of miscellaneous bits and bobs, and we're just going to see how it goes. Sometimes the yard looks a little ratty, but Bushwa and I are both 70, And we still believe that even at 70, we can do this. And we've seen the old guys out here working the fence lines, and we wondered when we first got here, how do they do that? Well, now we know. So I hope you come along for the journey. I'm really happy to be doing this.